Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be showing you the most important tips and tricks on your Asus ROG Phone 3. By the way guys, I'll also be making a dedicated video for the best features where I'll be showing you all the features offered by this phone. So definitely check out that video, link will be in the description. Now with that said, I want to first start off with the Armor Crate feature. Now this is the ROG Crate application, and once you open it up, we get that cool animation, and this is how the user interface looks like. First we have the games library, which simply lists all the games that are installed on your phone. You can add or remove games from this list. And on the right side we have the console section, which actually gives you a lot of control over your phone. First we have X mode, which is like a default preset setting which optimizes your phone to its optimal level to give you the best gaming experience. If you want to tweak it yourself, you can go to custom settings and tweak things like performance, display sensitivity, and more. You can also go to other levels of control if you have the permissions. Now if you scroll a bit, you get additional options related to air triggers, and this phone actually has a lot of cool features related to these air triggers. First we have the regular tap settings, so you can set your intensity. Next we also have dual partition, where each button is divided into two parts. So here's the left part and this is the right part. Once again, it works really well. Next we have swipe settings. You can just swipe on it to perform different actions. Next we also have slide setting, and even this works pretty well. So using these air triggers, you can perform different actions without actually touching the screen. Next we also have settings related to system lighting, which actually affects the lighting effect over here and any other ROG accessories that you have connected to your phone. And this Armor Crate application gives you a lot of control over the lighting settings. You can just randomly change the color. You can set different colors at different states of your phone. Like you can decide if you want to have this light on when your display is on or off. These settings give you a lot of control over the lighting effect, and there are literally a lot of settings. So you really have to dive into it to know more about them. Next we also have this featured section, which actually lists all the games which support different features offered by this phone. First we have the 144Hz display. So these are all the games that support 144Hz display. Next we have 120Hz. So these games support 120Hz display. Next we have gamepad. If you're having the ROG gamepad accessory, then these games can be played without any issues. And finally we also have this air trigger section, and these games are pretty well optimized for using these air triggers. So that's pretty much it about the Armor Crate. Now let's check out the camera interface and all the camera related features. So this is the camera interface for the rear camera. By default we are using the primary camera, and you can use this toggle to switch to the wide angle camera. In good lighting conditions you can directly take pictures, but in low lighting conditions this phone automatically gives you an option for night mode. So in this case, whenever you take a picture, it has an exposure time of about 4 seconds. If you don't want that, if you want to take a regular picture, then you can disable it over here. And now whenever you snap a picture, you get instant result. So that's a pretty unique feature that I've only seen on this phone. I wish every other Android phone does that. Next we have regular portrait mode on the right side. On this phone we can also change the amount of background blur effect you want before taking a picture using the slider. Next we have panorama, followed by a dedicated night mode. On this phone we can use night mode with the primary camera and even with the wide angle camera. Let me show you that once again. Now we can clearly see the exposure time, and here's a quick preview using night mode with the wide angle camera. By the way, this phone doesn't support night mode for selfies. Not a big deal, but some people might miss it. Next we have pro mode for taking pictures, and these are all the controls that we have. And finally we have the macro mode as well. Now if we go to the left side, we have the regular video recording, and on this phone we can record with the primary camera and even with the wide angle camera, and even while recording video we can switch between cameras, which is a pretty good feature. Next, this phone also has a new feature called hyper steady mode, and you can access it from here, and it simply super stabilizes the footage. And you can use this feature with both the primary camera and even with the wide angle camera, which is something you rarely see on other phones. Next we also have motion tracking. You just need to tap on the subject that you want to track, and then even when you move around, it keeps it in track, and it also seems to be automatically zooming in. So that's motion tracking, by the way. Next we have slow motion video recording, which uses the primary camera. Next we have time lapse, where we can use both the primary camera and the wide angle camera. And finally pro video. This is once again one of the unique features offered by this phone. So if you want to record professional grade video, you want a lot of controls over recording video, then you can do it on this phone. As for front camera, you don't have a lot of options. You have the regular photo mode, video recording, and finally portrait selfies. And even when it comes to portrait selfies, you can change the amount of background blur effect you want before taking a picture. So guys, these are all the camera related features on this phone. Next, this phone actually comes with 3 different themes. Well, you can also download more, but right out of the box you get 3 different themes and you can choose them from themes section. Go to my themes, and these are the 3 pre-installed themes. First we have the Apex Galactic Armor, next we have the Light Luminous Core, and finally we have the Classic. I personally like the Classic and it looks like this. This is the default user interface, and let me just try to change the theme. I'll go with the Apex Galactic Armor, and now it changes a lot of UI elements, mainly the color scheme, icons, even the wallpaper. So this is the Apex Galactic Armor. Here's the app drawer. App icons look kinda weird, not to my taste. And this is the notification toggles, and these are the settings. Personally, I like to go with the regular classic theme and turn on dark mode. It definitely looks much better and much cleaner. Anyway, that's what I like. Now the next best thing that I like about this phone are air triggers, which actually gives you the squeeze feature. For that, go to settings, then select advanced, and now select air triggers. By default it is turned off, and once you turn on, you can start using this feature. First we have short squeeze, which is set to Google Assistant. Next we have long squeeze, which I like to set it for flashlight. Now I can squeeze the phone for Google Assistant, and I can squeeze it harder for flash. I can squeeze it again to turn it off. You can also change the intensity of the squeeze, and you also get a lot more cool options from here. Next, I'm going to show you how to turn on navigation gestures. I've been using them right from the starting of the video. To enable them, go to display settings, scroll to the bottom, select system navigation. By default, it is set to navigation bar, and this is your regular navigation bar. Select gesture navigation to turn on navigation gestures. Now to go home, you can swipe from the bottom of the screen. For recent apps, swipe and hold. These are your recent applications. Now to go back a step, you can swipe from the left side or right side, and it takes you back a step. For Google Assistant, you can swipe from the bottom left or bottom right corner in this way, and it triggers Google Assistant. Finally, you can also swipe left or right on this bar to quickly switch between applications. And these gestures work really well. Next, I'm going to show you how to use split screen mode on this phone. So to open this particular application in split screen mode, first go to recent apps, then click on the app icon, then select split screen. Once you do that, that application will open up in the top window. You can select the secondary application from the list over here, or else you can go to the home screen and you can select the secondary application from the app launcher. Now I'm able to use 2 applications at once. By the way, we also got a new feature called Open in Window, and this is how it looks. I guess there is still a bit of tweaking to be done with this particular feature, so for now let's just skip that. Next, I'm going to show you how to enable dark mode. For that, go to settings, go to display settings, now select system color scheme, and over here we have the dark mode. Once you enable it, all the system UI elements change to dark mode, and even some of the stock Google applications enable dark mode. So this is the dark mode, and here's the notification toggles, and this is the settings page. Now, one of the most highlighting features about this phone is that 144Hz refresh rate. So to tweak settings related to refresh rate, you need to go to display settings and select refresh rate. By default, this phone is set to auto, where your phone automatically changes the refresh rate depending upon what you're doing. If you want a fixed refresh rate, you can go with any one of these options. Personally, I like to go with 144 or 120Hz, which will definitely give you the best experience. It'll affect the battery life, but the overall experience is definitely worth it. Next, this phone also has a feature called Always On Display, and you can access it from display settings. Just scroll a bit and you have Always On panel, and once you enable it, this is how the Always On display or Always On panel looks on this phone. And you can also change the clock style from here. Let's try that, and here we have it. Next, I'm going to show you how to record calls automatically on your phone. For that, open the phone dialer. Now go to settings, now select calls, then advanced, now select call recording and enable auto call recording. Now you can record all the calls automatically on your phone. By using this particular setting, you can also record calls automatically for a select numbers. Personally, I choose to record all the calls automatically. Next, I'm going to show you how to take a screenshot. So to take a screenshot on this phone, just press the volume down and power button both at the same time and your phone will take a screenshot. We also have the 3-finger screenshot gesture where you can swipe down using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. And for some reason, if that gesture is not working, just go to settings, then go to advanced, scroll and select screenshot, and make sure this particular toggle is enabled. If it is enabled, you can swipe down using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. Next, I'm going to show you how to take a long screenshot. For that, first take a regular screenshot. You can use the buttons or the gesture. Now select long screenshot over here. Then you can keep clicking this long screenshot to get a much longer screenshot. Once you're done, click save and you're done. Next, I'm going to show you how to take a longer screenshot. For that, first take a regular screenshot. You can either use the gestures or the buttons. And once you're done, click long screenshot over here. And just keep clicking it until you're satisfied or until you're done, and just be with it. Then you'll get a long screenshot. Next, I'm going to show you how to change your default applications on your phone. For that, go to settings and then select apps and notification, then select default apps. From this page, you can change your default browser application, default phone dialer, default SMS application, and even your default home launcher. So guys, these are the most important tips and tricks for your Asus ROG Phone 3. If I missed out on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.